Why are functional medicine and genetics such a great combination? Dr. Jeffrey Bland answered this on the Functional Forum.
So as I was listening to this introduction from James and the wonderful rap video that we just saw, what great creativity, it struck me that there's a metaphor here, isn't there, that we all believe in, or we wouldn't probably be here tonight. And that is, we have all been mired in the disease care system. And every metaphor is around disease, is all around pathology. And we studied it deeply, and we sat over microscopes or whatever our pathology-based cytology courses were. And we got a certain expertise, but through that expertise, we also had a perspective, and that is that the system is all around sadness. It's around disappointment. It's around tragedy, and we took on that psychological profile, and our medicine became very mired in that psychology. And if you just think of the energy that was brought into this room tonight, that's a different mentality. That's a medicine of up and out, not down and in. That's a medicine of hope and opportunity. That's a medicine focused on function. That's why I chose the term function, because I thought it was a term that could be a rallying point for really quantifying feeling good rather than just defining feeling bad or pathology. And in fact, the funny story, you've heard me maybe say this before, but it actually was on my mind when I chose the term in 2000. Because functional medicine already had some connotation in 2000. It was either psychosomatic medicine or it was rehabilitative geriatric medicine. So there was a lot of pushback by my colleagues in these meetings where we were kind of musing on founding the Institute for Functional Medicine. And I made a funny statement, which I really believe. I said, so if we had 1,000 practitioners of various forms of disease care sitting in a room, and they had all sorts of different pedigrees and backgrounds and training and so forth. And we asked the question, how many of you want to practice dysfunctional medicine? Please stand up. So the counterpoint of that, right, was, gee, I guess everyone want to practice functional medicine, right? So that was the basic strategy. So with that in mind, I really want to deal with three questions tonight. This is kind of the content portion of my musing. Because these are things that are on our radar screen, either directly or indirectly through our patients, which are, how does this genomics revolution really interface with healthcare? Is it just an epiphenomenon that's kind of fun and cute and it's a new tool and we are kind of romanced by all the newness? Or does it really provide answers and solutions that we didn't have before that could be meaningful in leading to actionable outcome that would improve patient outcome? And so the three questions I want to talk about that kind of overlay what I'm going to go through here about dark matter is, should we really be doing and advocating genetic testing at this point, or is it too early to really be useful? And I'm going to say, yes, we should. So I'll just put that out there, and then I'm going to say why I believe it should. And then number two, what are the interpretive guidelines then if we're going to use genetic analysis? Is it a bad news bear story? And I'll just tell you the story for those of you that won't be to the end here in the next 27 minutes, so I'll just tell you the end of the story. The end of the story is, if you think of the way that genetic testing is being used today and how it's interpreted, it's all around the bad news of pathology. It's all around risk. And I find this very interesting, but I guess not surprising, because if you think of the whole context of our system, it's all tilted towards disease. But yet in that genome, that book of life, those 23 chapters, there's very little that actually codes for disease. It mostly codes for function. And it mostly codes for the opportunity for high-level wellness for a century or more. So how do you access the good news in that system rather than constantly focusing on disease risk, which just mires us back in the old model? So I just want to throw that out as a construct. And by the way, I think all the labs that are doing it are caught up in that same thing. It's just like the term diagnosis. You know, diagnosis should go out with disease. It's prognosis. You want to be on the front end of this curve. You don't want to be on the back end. This is the difference between like accounting and financial planning. I mean, do you want really an accountant to be running your health? You want a financial planner, right? Someone that's looking forward, not looking back. And so that's that model. And then lastly, how do we use biomarkers and other information to make the gene test more applicable to actionable things?
Thanks so much for watching. And for more great clips like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've created a special free video just for you. It's called the 5 Steps to Becoming a Leader in Your Wellness Community, and it'll give you some of the starting points on how to position yourself as the leader in your zip code of your health community. All you have to do is click on the link below.